You've signed up to attend a great webinar. This is called Social Media Marketing Made Simple. And the idea behind this is to give you a sense of what social media is all about and how you can apply social media to your business or nonprofit. My name is Ken Countess, and I am Managing Director of the Countess Group. We are a marketing and communications company, authorized local experts for Constant Contact, also Master Certified. I'll mention what that is in a little more detail in just a moment. And we are also certified by Microsoft to help you out with Office 365. We're a full-service marketing consultancy, and we're now in our 15th year. And no matter whether you are in a for-profit or not-for-profit business, we can help you with strategic marketing and communications. Our specialties include email marketing, social media marketing. We build websites. We handle public relations. We can do video marketing for you, search engine optimization, just about anything, any kind of marketing services you may need to help grow your organization. Here's my contact information. You'll be getting a copy of this presentation following the close of the webinar, but I would encourage you to follow us on the social media channels that you're currently using. We are most active on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and we're publishing material out on those channels just about every day and about 3 times a day. And it's all information that you'll find helpful to grow your business or nonprofit. We are, as I mentioned, Microsoft and Google partners as well, and Master Certified by Constant Contact. There are a handful of us who have that Master certification out of about 10,000 people who are solution providers for Constant Contact. And we were particularly honored earlier this year when we became awarded the All-Star Award for last year by Constant Contact. That's something we're particularly proud of. In terms of background, I spent 25 years or more in corporate America, most of that time at Motorola, and spent a few years at Marriott and a company that's now a part of CVS, that was Caremark, and I was also a senior partner at Ascend Marketing, based in the Dallas area, and also worked for a company called Datamax O'Neill. And over the last 15 years, our clients have included some of the names that you see on screen, including Verizon and Marriott and Alcatel-Lucent, the Tampa Airport, the University of Central Florida, but mostly scores of small to medium-sized businesses and nonprofits, probably just like yours. And what's significant about that is while I spent a great part of my career in corporate America, I've also spent a lot of time as a solopreneur or entrepreneur, so I know exactly what it's like. If you don't have a dedicated staff of people marketing your organization, it's hard to find the time to do it. I spend 70 hours a week on average between marketing our own business and handling all of the activity, the invoicing and so on, and handling work on behalf of our clients. And that leaves precious little time to market our business. And so you're in the right place. You've got someone whose webinar you're attending that has the experience and the background to give you the tips that you need in order to be more effective at what you do. If you stick around through the entire webinar, there are a couple of offers that we've got available for attendees, and they'll be presented to you at the end of this webinar. I hope you'll stick around and take advantage of those. So why are we here today? Well, it's because you know that social media marketing is so important. It's also confusing and overwhelming. There are a lot of social networks out there, and you may not consider yourself a marketing expert, but now you have to know how to use all of these tools. And you might not be comfortable using social media. It all looks and feels so new, and guess what? We're all still figuring this out because social media marketing changes every day. Just as an example, LinkedIn announced yesterday that they acquired lynda.com, which positions LinkedIn as much more of a content provider than a job search place. which is what it's been known for so long. And of course, that's evolved a lot over time, but it's just indicative of how things change every day. So it's okay to be confused and overwhelmed. We're here to help you. Let me share this chart with you. I update this chart just about every quarter. If you have attended this webinar in the past, you'll see that this particular graph has changed since the last time you attended. Simple fact is that every time I conduct a seminar or a webinar, I'm making updates to it because things change so fast. So here's what you'll see on this chart. It says that Facebook, the blue line going across the top of the chart, drives more traffic to websites than all other social media combined. That's pretty impressive and probably not too big of a surprise. What may be interesting to you, though, is that Pinterest drives more traffic to websites than all other social media combined, of course, with the exception of Facebook. And all the other sites, they're pretty much in the dust at this point. So, you know, you're here obviously because you're looking for more information about social media, and you're not the only one that needs some help. I hear from people just like you and me every day, small businesses and nonprofits who want to stand out from the pack, get more fans and followers, and spread the word about what they do on social media. And recent surveys that have been done show that you really are not alone. 54% and 57% of nonprofits say they need help with social media marketing. And you probably have concerns about social media as well. Many small businesses and nonprofits think, well, social media marketing looks really interesting, but I'll never have millions of fans. Well, that's okay, but can you use a few hundred more? I think the answer would be yes. Or maybe using these new inbound marketing tools sounds really great, but I don't even know what I would talk about on social media. Or, you know, I read everything that's being said and it sounds really useful, but I'll never have a dedicated staff to do it right. Or I hear about these new networks every day, but I just don't have the time to stay current. Well, I'm going to pose another one of these polls for you right now, and here's the question. Are you currently using social media for your business or nonprofit? Go ahead and vote yes or no. We'll wait a few more seconds before we close the poll. Okay, poll closed. Here's what you said. Not too terribly surprising that over 85% of those on this webinar are currently using social media. Well, here's why I asked that question. You know, social media, you know, sometimes we wonder, you know, why is it so important for our business or nonprofit? Well, it has impacted businesses and nonprofits in a very big way. It's how you're finding new customers or members and how you're staying top of mind for your current ones and making them loyal repeat customers. 5 years ago in 2008, we asked small businesses what kind of tools they were using for marketing. And only about 10% at that time were using social media marketing. And 6 years later, in 2014, that number has gone all the way up to 88%. Why? Because social media works. As small businesses and nonprofits, we simply don't have the time to do things that don't work. So this is quite a statistic. It mirrors pretty closely how people on the webinar have answered. It just shows how integral social media has become as a marketing tool for all kinds of organizations. The good news is that what you have is really powerful. You really can do this. You can successfully market your business or association because you have loyal, happy customers or supporters if you're a nonprofit. More than likely, you provide an excellent customer experience, and you have interesting and important things to say. So here's what we're going to cover over the remaining time during the webinar. Why should you use social media? What are the top 5 social networks? What do I say? And then how do I get started? Well, before we go any further, what I want to find out from you is, so I have a good feel for who's on the webinar, is I want to launch this poll asking what is your organization's primary focus? Are you mostly serving B2B customers and clients? Are you mostly business to consumer? Or are you nonprofit? And by nonprofit, I don't mean you're in business and not making money yet. We'll give you another few seconds to respond. And we'll close the poll. And here's what you said. It looks we're pretty evenly split here. B2B and B2C both at 43% and nonprofits at about 14%. That's really helpful because it helps me to structure how we move forward in the rest of the event. So I want to start by helping you or others in your organization understand why a small business or nonprofit should be using social media. And normally, this is not a good reason for doing something because everyone else is. But in this case, your colleagues and your competitors are marketing with social media. In fact, 93% of nonprofits are using social media. About 87% of business-to-business organizations are marketing with social media. And about an equal number of business-to-consumer organizations are using social media as well. And so what that means is if you're not doing some kind of social media marketing for your organization, you're not in the places where your customers and supporters are looking for information. The people who are doing it, your competitors, have a big advantage because they're reaching more people with their message. The social media impact on your business or organization is huge. It drives people to your door. It influences purchasing. 74% of shoppers rely on social networks to guide purchase decisions. Social media has made it easier for people to buy from you. And 2 out of 10 Facebook users have made a purchase by clicking on ads or comments. And I'm going to comment on that a little while later. They tell their friends about you. 55% of people share information about their purchases on social media. And it influences people's connections to nonprofits. 68% of people will go online and learn more about the charities and causes that their friends support when their friends post about it on social media. And this influence happens on social media because of audience engagement. You know, we used to tell people things over the backyard fence. And now we tell everyone, our family, our friends, our colleagues, our clients, even our BFFs, our best friends forever, through social media channels. And it's less about spending all of your time and money and energy finding new customers and more about fully engaging your existing happy customers and clients and donors and making it easy for them to tell others. And these changes have truly leveled the playing field for smaller organizations to compete with the big ones. The point I'm making here is that social media is the new word of mouth. Social media helps to kickstart word-of-mouth marketing. And because your messages have the chance to be amplified and shared, social media marketing will bring you new customers and donors, supporters, and volunteers if you're a nonprofit, repeat business from your current customers, and referrals from your happy customers. Is this starting to make sense? Why social media is important? It's a part of your entire business. Social media and the social visibility that it gives you and how your business and customers engage with each other make up what we call the engagement marketing cycle. And now let's take a look at this engagement marketing cycle and talk about how social media and engagement work together in the day-to-day life of your business. I've been talking about who's using social media and how it drives behavior. And now let's think about the experience that you provide through your interactions with your clients or supporters and where social media fits in. If you want social media to work for you, you have to create a wow experience. Now think about all the ways you interact with your customers or supporters. What's something you can do for them that's valuable? And it doesn't have to be anything huge and expensive. A wow experience can be something small and meaningful, like, for example, the way you process a credit card. That could be normal, but the way you wrap the purchase could be the wow. Another very simple way to rise above the ordinary can be in the way you greet them at the door. If you work with other businesses, consider how you present proposals or project updates. Are you thinking about the perception of you as a professional that when you leave, when you invest the time and care into the report's presentation, does it shine through? If you're a nonprofit, the wow can be the way you show supporters how you carry out your mission by using photos to illustrate the story. And again, you don't have to go through extremes or way over the top. You do, however, need to help your business think about the spots where you're going to do something that really creates a connection. And that's what it's about, creating a connection. What those connections do for you is open up a window of opportunity. It's an opportunity to ask them to stay connected with you, which brings me to the next step in the cycle. The reason you want to create a wow opportunity is to get their attention, to create a connection, and then ask them to stay in touch with you. So leverage that wow moment. Ask them to connect with you, like on Facebook, because they know you'll then engage with them with content and other items of value to them. And then engage with them online. And as they interact with you, social media allows that engagement to be visible online. It's seen by their networks, and that helps to introduce you to a whole group of new people who will become your next customers or supporters. And that's called social visibility, and really shows the power of social media. See, what I want you to take away from this, the engagement marketing cycle, is that social visibility, enhanced by technology, enables you to connect with your customers, get leads, or grow supporters. Create that wow experience, make the connection, encourage your customers or supporters to continue that experience with you by following you on social media, and then keep that cycle going. So now that I've laid out why you should be considering social media as part of your marketing mix, let's jump into a reveal of the top 5 social networks. These are what we collectively refer to as the top 5 social networks. And there's a pretty good chance you're using, or at least considering using, at least one of these. So I'm going to walk through each of these, quickly talking about what each network is great for, who's using it, and so on. And this isn't going to be an in-depth analysis of each channel or a thorough how-to for each. What I want to do is familiarize you with these top 5 channels so you've got some insight as you either confirm your decision to focus on one or as you weigh the decision on where to start. Here's a hint. In about 30 seconds, I'm going to ask another question of you. So take a look at your screen. Also, by the way, on one note, I haven't listed these in any particular order of importance because I recognize that one organization may have more of a reason to use and focus on Facebook or Pinterest, while another might exclusively use LinkedIn. Okay, so here's the time. Here comes that poll. Which social media platform do you use most often for your organization? Is it Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, or Google+? We'll close the poll in 5 seconds, so go ahead and cast your vote. Okay. Here's what you said. Not too surprisingly, nearly 3/4 are using Facebook for their primary social platform. Twitter and LinkedIn as well, and they're at about even. And Pinterest and Google don't even show up on the map. All right, so let's talk a little bit about each one of these now. And specifically, let's talk about Facebook. Obviously, it's the big one. It's the most popular of all the networks with nearly 2 billion users. It spans all age groups, classes, and geography, and it's the place where people go to find out what their friends and family are doing. And it's a primary source of news and information for many. But Facebook is also where people look for interesting and useful content. So what do people share on Facebook? Well, it's just about everything. And it's used by all B2B, B2C, and nonprofits. And next, let's talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn has 300 million users. As I mentioned earlier, they just acquired lynda.com. It's got much more of a business focus. It started as a network where people could post their resumes and search for jobs, and you could still do that. But it's become a great source of industry news, and it's great for demonstrating thought leadership. It's primarily a B2B tool, but B2C and nonprofits do use it as well. Twitter has about 300 million users too, and a majority of them are people in the 40 and under crowd at the moment. But Twitter's fastest growing age demographic is 55 to 64-year-olds, registering a recent increase in active users of nearly 80%. Pinterest has 70 million users. It's a social channel that relies very heavily on visuals. If you're not using it yet, its primary audience is female. A lot of foodies and crafters are on there. The average household income of a Pinterest user in the U.S. is $100,000 plus. So I don't know about you, but to me, that's a pretty attractive target to market your business, people with money. It's a great way to share products, how-to information or tips, and digital assets like ebooks. And then there's Google+. This is an interesting one. There are over 500 million users, and most of them are men. The two biggest user groups are college students and software developers, but its audience does include other groups as well. It's similar to Facebook in that you can share text updates, multimedia, links to your content, or content created by others. Google, though, has recently announced that they are going to dismantle Google+ as we know it, leaving behind some other features in separate products. But you should use it while you can. It's great for increasing your searchability and expertise. Google, the search engine, goes to Google+ among the first places it searches for fresh content. So putting new stuff on Google+ helps your search engine optimization results. So here's a matrix of all of the social channels I've spoken about, and you'll get a copy of this after the webinar if you're joining us live. So the next challenge, of course, is, well, what do I say on social media? Well, we'll start with Facebook because it's the most popular. And everything I talk about over the next few minutes here, while it has a Facebook flavor to it, the same parameters hold for all the social media channels. And we've got a rule of thumb that we like to use to help you think about the ways to approach marketing on social media. About half of the time, about 50%, should be used for getting likes and shares and comments. So be entertaining, invite conversation, ask questions, use images and video. 30% of the time, it should be useful, informative information. Maybe provide information about your industry that your customers will find interesting. Become known as a source of important information and tips. And if you do that stuff correctly, then you've earned the right for about 20% of your content to be direct calls to action for your business. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be buy now. I'll show you some examples here along the way. Now, as I said, 50% of the content you post should be aimed at getting likes and comments and shares. So this means that it needs to be entertaining and invite conversation. Maybe ask questions, ask for opinions, use images and video, and be timely. Maybe there's an event or a holiday coming up. One thing I want to caution you about is that on Facebook, you get penalized for asking people to like or comment or share. So don't do that. 30% of the time, your content should be useful and informative. So provide information about your industry that your customers will find interesting. Become known as a source of information and tips, whether that content is from your own blog or for other blogs that you trust. And then the last 20%, if you've done the other stuff right, you can use that for calls to action. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to be buy now, but it could be a teaser to perhaps an event that you have coming up soon. So if you're completely stumped about what to say on social media in general, or if you have a day or a week where there's not a lot going on, these questions can help you come up with some ideas. For example, what's new at your business or organization? Do you have a new product or service? Maybe you have a new employee. Think about what's different that your audience might be interested in. Next, think about success stories. Did you get a great email or review from someone who was thrilled with how you helped them? Go ahead and share it. You can regularly post customer stories on your blog where they talk about how they used online marketing to solve a problem or achieve a goal. Maybe you've been hearing the same questions over and over again lately. Maybe there's a topic that people are bringing up a lot. Chances are the people you haven't heard from have the same question or topic on their minds. So be proactive. Answer questions with a brief explanation on Facebook or with a video and say, we've been getting this question a lot lately and you may have the same issue. So here are some tips to help. How does this really work for a small organization? How can you create simple content that's effective and keeps fans engaged? Well, let's take a look at one of my all-time favorites. Here we have Donna's Gourmet Cookies. And during the holidays, they posted a picture of some of the new cookies they were making. Notice the comment posted along with the picture. Yep, we have them. No complex marketing message, no convoluted marketing speak here. It's just a simple statement. And now look at the engagement that took place. 10 people liked the post, 1 person shared the picture, and these were people choosing to like the image, and 1 even deciding that she wanted to share it with her network. So let's follow that person who shared this content. Here's the post as it showed up on one person's Facebook feed. It's a fan who shared the picture with her network, adding her own endorsement of Donna's and her cookies. And it got results. 5 more people liked the post or picture. 4 people wrote comments, including this one. Where is Donna's located? This is someone who asked, where can I find them so that she can go buy some cookies? Now, this is someone who didn't know about Donna's cookies. She didn't know about the cookies she'd like. And now, thanks to the engagement between Donna's and its customers, the social visibility of that Facebook post that was shared is going to go there and become a customer herself. So now let me take you back to that engagement marketing cycle and how you can engage your current customers to gain word of mouth. That's the power of engagement, and that's what happens when it leads to social visibility. So whether you're trying to think about building new content, I want you to do this exercise that will help you with your creation process. And I'll pause a little bit here to walk you through it. Now think about the 50-30-20 rule. What's something you could post for your small business or nonprofit that will get you likes or shares or comments? Is it a fill-in-the-blank post? It could be something about your industry. If you're in retail, think about something like, when I'm buying a new pair of shoes, they need to be, and then fill in the blank. People could say comfortable, match my clothing, appropriate for work, and so on. And if you're a nonprofit, maybe you want to try something about volunteerism, like the best thing about volunteering for the United Way is, and then fill in the blank. Now think about something you could share with your followers that's useful or informative. Find interesting facts or statistics about your organization or your industry. And if you're a nonprofit, think locally. How many hours have people volunteered this month? And finally, think about something you can post that's directly about your business. Do you have a new product? Are you holding an event? What's new and different today? What's something important that's coming up? Tell your followers that they're the first to know. And so now that I've shared with you why social media is important and how it's driving decisions, and I've given you an introduction to the big 5 social networks and how to think about what you want to say, it's time to get started. And if you're just getting started, I would recommend you start with Facebook because it is the most popular of the social media networks. So why should you start here? Well, of course, being the most popular, most of the people who use social media are already on Facebook, which means your audience is already there. And it's easy to get started. I've got 3 easy tips. If you're already on Facebook, you may want to be sure that you've completed all the best practices from these tips. So after the webinar, go ahead and check your page. And after you've done all these things, then you can move on to applying them to other social networks you've been using too. So make sure that when you've created your Facebook page that you understand that there are 2 different accounts you can create on Facebook. You can create a Facebook page for your business or a personal profile. And it's really important to start with a Facebook business page and not a personal profile because they have different features. A Facebook business page is set up to promote your business. It has places for your information, a map, a link to your website, and the ability to add things like a menu if you're a restaurant. The business page also comes with statistics. Facebook calls these insights that show you how your posts did and how many fans you're growing over time. The personal profile does not have these settings. After you've created your page, you're official. Your page has all of your information and your photos. So now it's time to tell everyone you're out there. Link to your page in your email marketing. You may want to send out a separate email announcing your page and telling people what they can find there. Put signs up in your physical location, maybe in your store or office. And make sure you have a link to your Facebook page on your website. And don't forget to tell people at events and put it on your business cards too. The key here is that any place you talk to your customers or supporters online or in person is a place that you should mention your Facebook presence. And now that you've told people about your page, start posting. And remember that 50-30-20 rule. Use those 3 questions that I posed earlier. And if you get stuck, ask your audience. Find out what they would like to see you post. People do business with other people. We all know this. So leverage that fact. Leverage the fact that you're a person, and you'll see a higher response from your engagement activities. So write in conversational copy, which basically means write the way that you speak. And include photos of yourself and people on your staff or clients or customers as long as you have their permission. And once in a while, pull back the curtain and share something more personal. Not overly personal, of course, just personal enough to give a sense of who you really are. Maybe your staff plans to run in a 5K for a cause that matters to you, and maybe post why it matters to you. But be genuine and be authentic. And the next thing to do is think about planning out your posts. You could take a look at a week at a time or one channel at a time. Let's try it with Facebook. So let's look at perhaps a Monday morning motivational quote, and Tuesday around noontime, maybe Tuesday trivia. Maybe Wednesday in the morning have a fill in the blank. Maybe on Thursday afternoon you can indicate maybe you're having a sale this weekend. And then on Friday, a fun fact, or perhaps get a glass of wine to celebrate. It's social media. What you're trying to do here is build community. And you'll get a blank copy of that same exercise in the handout that you receive after the webinar via email. Here's a bonus for you. A best practice is to use marketing automation tools. It's difficult to take the time out of every day to try to post things, and the good news is you don't have to do that. One of our favorites is Hootsuite, which allows you to schedule posts up to a year in advance and post them on up to 50 different social media channels simultaneously. And here's another important note. Don't forget this one. Email marketing is critically important to help you grow your business or nonprofit. Why? Because 77% of consumers prefer to be marketed to via email. And you may say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, compared to other social media, and email is considered a part of social media today, you control your inbox. So you're probably not looking at your Facebook news feed all day long, and so things that may have been posted during the course of the day may go unnoticed. But if someone sends you an email at any time during the day, it's still there in your inbox ready for you to take a look at. And email is very, very convenient. Email marketing generates 40 times more revenue than Facebook and Twitter as of right now. And here's what an article in Forbes said. It said that customer acquisition via email has more than quadrupled in the last 4 years. More than quadrupled, that's a big number. And that it happened in the last 4 years is impressive, because that's during the time that we hear every day about Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram and so on. So, more customers if you use email, and email generates 40 times more revenue than Facebook and Twitter. In addition, customers who come to businesses through email tend to shop more and spend more. That's a pretty solid vote for making sure that you're using email marketing as a part of your marketing effort. In fact, email marketing has a return on investment of 43 to 1, and that's if you're doing an average job. It starts at only $20 a month, and so if you just do the math, it says if you were to spend $100 on an email campaign, you should expect $4,300 back. We have a client that started using email marketing for her business and has generated an additional $250,000, an extra $250,000 in revenue in a 6-month period, and the only way that she marketed her business was with email marketing. So sometimes this stuff feels like you're drinking out of a fire hose, but the simple fact is that if you keep it simple, you can do this. What I'd recommend you do, if you're not already using any of the social media tools, or if you're not yet using Constant Contact's email marketing platform. Constant Contact, of course, is known best for email marketing. It has over 650,000 subscribers. to its email service. But in addition, built into the same platform, you can create surveys, you can run events. This event was run, the registration happened around the clock, 24/7. We had people registering for this webinar at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and there was no need to answer the phone or create a spreadsheet. It all happens in the background, and it couldn't be easier. And if you're inclined to run offers or a Facebook promotion, you could do that using Constant Contact as well. So I'd encourage you to give it a try. If you're not already using it, you can sign up for a free trial at trythetoolkit.com. I've just posted it in the chat box as well. If you wanted to click on that link, it'll open up a new browser for you, and you could sign up. It only takes 1 minute, literally, to sign up for the free trial. Stick around. I've got a couple of offers for you here to take advantage of, and I think you'll find them very helpful to you. If you'd like to get started with a paid account, service starts at only $20 a month. And this URL that you see down below right now, toolkit.today, will tie you directly to our company. And what that will do for you is give you an opportunity to take advantage of a couple of additional free offers. I've just posted this other URL in the chat box for you too. Here are those other offers that we can make available for you. And they are that, one, you can get a reusable email template that matches the look of your website. It's a nearly $200 value. It's for new paid subscriptions only. And here's what that looks like. Take a look on the left-hand side of the screen where I've got the red dot, and you'll see somebody's website. This is a fictitious company called Greenfish with a logo and a color palette and social media buttons and so on. And what we can do for you is create a template that looks just like it, that you would send out in an email. So it's got the same logo and color palette and social media buttons and so on. So when someone receives that email from you, it appears as though they're receiving your website. And in fact, it's an email that has links directly into those same pages on your website for you. But here's the other thing to sweeten the offer a bit. If you subscribe today, we'll also give you an hour of free coaching to help you send your first newsletter out, and that's a $249 value. Additionally, if you're already using Constant Contact, or if you sign up for a new subscription, free or paid, you'll become a member of our VIP Partner Loyalty Program. We've got over 1,500 members already. There are no membership fees. It's free to join. And you get up to $2,000 in free services. And you can just send an email to us, and we'll give you more detail. And I'll go ahead and put that email address in the chat box for you, and you can send an email to us. And just put VIP in the subject header, and then what we'll do is we'll send you an email that gives you details on how the program works. But you'll get a complimentary review of your newsletter each month so that you could send that to us, and we'll give you some tips on how to make your email more effective before it even goes out. So the total value is nearly $2,500. So I'd encourage you to take advantage of the offer. This doesn't come around every day. And we're trying to make this a really easy decision for you. And we give you free help. There are no contracts. Everything is month to month. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee from Constant Contact on all of the subscriptions. So I say, what are you waiting for? It's very easy to get started today. We're here to help, and I hope you'll take advantage of at least one of those offers. By attending today, you'll be able to join our list. We'll be sending a free marketing newsletter every month, and the next one will be going out next Tuesday. And you can also attend our free webinars. Here's the URL to sign up for additional free webinars. We encourage you to take advantage of them because, as I mentioned earlier, every time we do a webinar, there's new material. No two webinars are the same. In fact, we did this webinar earlier today, and the content was a little bit different. Everything is being updated all the time. And I'll put in the box here a link to sign up for the webinars. You can go directly to that link, and you'll be able to sign up for as many as you like. So we're at the close. We've got plenty of time for questions. So if you'd like to ask, please, by all means, go ahead. While you're thinking about questions, I have another poll for you, which simply is, if you're interested in getting more information about the VIP Club, yes, I can always use some free help, or no, but thank you. If you are interested, what we'll do is we'll send you an email that has information about how to join. There's no obligation, and if you find that this would be something of value to you, we'd love to have you join the VIP Club. So I'll go ahead and close that poll. And I want to thank you for joining us today. As I say, we do have time for questions, so by all means, go ahead and use the question box. And while we're waiting for a few more questions, again, I just want to say thank you for joining us today. I know it's late in the afternoon, local time, and so I appreciate that you took time out of your day to meet with us. And I hope you'll take advantage of our email information. You'll be getting a copy of this webinar via email in the form of a link to download a PDF which has the slides that you were able to view on screen. You'll also be able to go to our YouTube channel, where you'll be able to view other webinars. We have quite a few webinars on the YouTube channel, so you'll be able to access them day or night. If you'd like a speaker for an upcoming event, we're happy to appear live, or we can handle a live webinar, obviously, as well. So if your organization or your company or your nonprofit association, trade show, whatever, if you need a speaker for your event, please let us know, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you have about how all that works. So here's our contact information. And again, I'd encourage you to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter specifically. We're also active on Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube, as I mentioned. So thank you, everybody, for attending today, and I'll look forward to your questions. I see a few have popped up in the box, so let me go ahead and answer them. The first one is, what's the best way to gain Facebook likes without sharing to your personal friends? Telling our customers to like our page generally doesn't generate likes for us. Well, use email marketing as one tool. When you include the simple share and social share bars on your email marketing campaigns, that tends to generate a fair level of activity. Don't be afraid to go cross-platform, meaning that maybe you want to grow your Facebook fan base, but go on to LinkedIn and include links on the other social media platforms like LinkedIn to encourage people to join you on your Facebook page. And feel free to reach out to us if you need some more coaching. And I see a bunch of thank yous. You're very, very welcome. I'm glad that you were able to attend. So we'll take another couple of minutes and see if any more questions come in before we close down the webinar. You're welcome. Thank you so much for your kind comments.